So for those that don't know me, my name is Stoeckel. I'm currently Titusville City Council seat 2, and I am running for re-election. And I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about why I ran back in 2016 when I was first elected. So I've grown up in Titusville. I've been here for over 30 years. This is my home. What I found was people in my age demographic, it was either let's get out of Titusville and like move away because there's nothing to do in Titusville. So that is what I grew up with. Mind you, when I was a kid, growing up, it was great. We had the Miracle City Mall, we had the skating rink, we had the bowling alley. I loved it. And then I found all my friends leaving, and I was like, I can leave too, or I can try to make Titusville what I think it can be, this great area for us to grow and thrive. During that time, for those that have been here for a while, you know what happened when the space shuttle program retired. We had a lot of people move out of the city, and we were begging for growth. It was a very dark time for us. The city at that time, before it was on, they had to have people on furlough. They had to lay people off because it was really hard. And I was like, okay, what can we do to try to help make things better? So I did end up running for office. I also wanted to make sure I'm educated when I do it. I'm not just going in there saying, yes, I can fix this, I'll do this, but do I actually know what I'm talking about? So I actually went and pursued my PhD in public affairs, public administration, to understand how does the budget work? How does planning work when you're doing the proper planning? What are our rights versus the state's rights versus people rights? So I wanted to make sure I went in there that I was actually knowledgeable and understood how things work. So I was elected in 2016, and I will tell you, it's very different running for office to then moving into that governing role and what you can and cannot do. So that's where you kind of learn how you have to work together. I'm one vote of 5. So I can have the best ideas, but if at least 2 other people don't agree with me, it's not going anywhere. So I learned that. Another thing that happened for me specifically was on our growth. At that time, we were waiving impact fees. We were begging to get people to come here. And I think we can all agree that part of that worked. We have businesses that have come here. We have developments. Somebody mentioned, yeah, we have 56 projects on their way now. And so I think some of what we were doing was actually working. We hear people complain a lot. Is there any good restaurants in Titusville? Is there anything for us to do? That comes if private businesses actually decide that they want to come, and it will prove a profit for them, and that requires people. So when you're sitting in this role, that's the delicate balance you have to play. It's understanding we need some growth, and we also need to manage that growth well. So that's why I had originally run on smart development. I still continue to run on smart development. And I think that's important for us to understand that we balance that low-impact development, that we balance making sure we preserve our wetlands and our nature and what makes Titusville, Titusville, and then also having things for our residents to actually do and enjoy that quality of life. So there have been several things we've done. If you drive around town, just look and see what are some businesses that weren't here 8 years ago. What has actually come to pass? Look and see some of the construction. There's a lot that's happening. Also in this role, one of my favorite things to do is actually represent citizens. You will have a lot of citizens that will contact you about random things, and you get to represent that this is our community. So even driving to this event today, somebody had reached out to me, hey, can you go drive by my road? I think it needs to be repaved sooner than later. So that's what I did. I went and drove by there. There's other little things like that that happen that I don't think you really kind of fully appreciate or understand until you're sitting in the seat. And getting to see how you can balance all of that. Over time, I'm so sorry I said that. But anyway, all that to say, I love serving my community. I love what I do. That is why I'm running. And I just want to say thank you all for being here and taking that time to get yourselves educated. And for those that are running, I know you guys see it is a lot of work. So thank you all.